No. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we're live. Bang. Chelsea, am I on Amazon Podcasts? I believe I am. I can actually pull this up really fast. Chelsea, can I tell you real quick? Yes. Okay. Here you go, guys. And thank you for chilling. We're about to get started with the episode, but I wanted to let everyone know um, Stream of Conscious West, the podcast you are listening to now, you can find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and finally, you can find the Stream of Conscious West podcast also on Stitcher. So don't forget, you can find these podcasts anywhere you go. And here's the thing I really want to point out. You can find the video version of Stream of Conscious West on Spotify in the app. You click on an episode in Spotify, it plays the video as if you were on YouTube. Spotify is changing the podcast game, and I am here to be doing it with us. um, but yeah, so it's really cool. We have YouTube over here. What's up, YouTube? We got TikTok Live. What's up, guys? And then everywhere, we have those who are listening not live today on January 14th, but later via the podcast feed or the YouTube feed. So here's the thing that I'm trying to figure out, okay? My shit is about to be streamed live, okay? YouTube is my live stream shit. It's the more raw shit. But also because I don't know. Here's my question. I want to come back to the live chat because y'all have been really vibing with me. Princess Luna Sparkles, all right? I want to address you for a little bit really quick. Twitch streamer, really awesome person. And I want to thank you for what you said. Princess Luna Sparkles said, "You're incredible. I know it's tough to let go of negative self-thoughts." And then they said, "The right people will flock to you." That is so dope to me because it's true. And it's literally just like to be reminded of, like, I don't stay zoned in on just how special I am. You know what I mean? And that's like, yeah, it's really interesting. Like, it's hard for me to figure out what type of exploration of my relationship to my own awesomeness, right? My own value, like that, what I do, what I think, how I say those things is really valuable. You know, lately on TikTok, I've been just kind of opening up the app and just like venting about my shit. It's like there's this, I'm like chipping away at this wall that I perceive to be standing in between me and you. In between my own ability to see how I am powerful. Like, I want to go back to a comment because from motherfucking human being, And sorry to cuss, MF human being. But you said, I think discovering one's own value is very inspiring content. Just saying. Like, bruh, that's that's my shit. This is like my new brand right now. Okay? I'm discovering my own value and not and how to love it, how to harness it, how to acknowledge it, how to sit in it so that during hard times I don't forget. Like there's all types of self-discovery that through witnessing others we really can gain insight into what we are capable of. Um, I implore you guys to check out the newest Stream of Conscious West episode because it's one that's very raw. And my sister actually hit me up the other day and was like, "Hey, I don't really feel super comfortable putting this up on YouTube." We talked about some hard shit and living with your romantic partner and sharing the housework and working on communication and figuring out how to set boundaries, but more so how to communicate your boundaries or to communicate your desire. You know, communicating your desire is important and also really hard to do when I desire that you do something differently, right? We are affected by the people around us. And so it is our responsibility to let them know via a conversation, often, many times, a difficult one to initiate. And so I think by putting off conversations about not trivial stuff, like daily stuff, like stuff that isn't, that's not on anyone's I love doing this list, you know? It's like we will begin to tiptoe around our environments because of our internalized fear that what we want isn't enough, or like what we want isn't allowed, right? Or like my desire to have, for you, if I'm talking to my partner and I say, my desire for you to not leave your clothes all over the house, that desire in me is valid and I'm allowed to want that. And then I think we have to then struggle with like the dynamic, right? It's hard. Like, okay, how do I, the one who wants to see change from someone else, how, like, what am I allowed to ask for? I think that's a huge question, right? Where I'm like, am I allowed to ask you to never leave a single sock anywhere except the dirty hamper? Right? It's like, no. And so we can kind of like, if I can pose this question and I can start to pose these other questions of like, okay, I want to see change. Well, yeah, like, what am I allowed to want? Am I allowed to want you to never leave a sock on the floor? Yes. Am I allowed to ask you, hey, please never leave a sock on the floor? Maybe, yeah, right? But I think what ends up being the harder thing is, and this is me, like I'm the one being asked, where my partner Lane, I don't know if this is I don't think she's exactly asked me this verbatim, but basically like, hey, like, what's up with all this shit? Or what was I actually about to just say? Fuck. I don't remember. Back to the chat. Kelly was good. Chelsea said we can be mean to ourselves without realizing it. Human being. It feels really relevant to where I am on my own path. We're here for it. Definitely appreciating you sharing your presence and perspective. Thank you, dude. All right. Yo, it just, Almond Eye Girl Morgan was good. Yo, I have not seen you in a minute, bro. It just said invite Almond Eyed Girl to go live. Are you live right now? I don't know why I wanted us to go live together. You want to hop on? That would be a trip, dude. Can I invite you? Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right.
Good morning.
What's up, Morgan?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Life is a trip, man.
Yes.
It's definitely a trip.
Yeah.
My partner of 3 years passed away almost 6 months ago. And so I have been grieving and reaffirming my life. So it's like, it's interesting to be cracked completely open.
Yeah.
And then live in gratitude again.
Mm-hmm.
Like I found the balance, which is amazing to do in 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I am amazing.
Wow.
I am fabulous. Yeah, it's and next week I go for my plant meditation ceremony, so I'm doing ayahuasca.
Ooh, awesome.
Yeah, I'm very I've been manifesting this for 3 years. Yeah.
Wow. I feel you. That's exciting.
It is. It is very exciting. Are you still down in San Diego, or where do you find yourself now?
Yeah, so I was in LA for a while, but now I live in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, I love Portland.
Yeah.
It's a great city.
Yeah, it's really cool. We've been here since July.
Congratulations.
And yeah, you know, I'm so glad to see you and hear from you. And like today's such an epic day because Lane and I are hosting about 4 people at our house for a breathwork ceremony this afternoon, evening. So I'm just kind of like knowing that that's coming up later. So I'm just kind of in this really peaceful, kind of nervous but excited morning energy today. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good that that moment, the break before we jump off, is such a moment of growth and vulnerability. Yeah. I love that moment.
Yeah.
It's super it's like the moments of ego work, right before we have those inversions, how be it small or large. They're the moments before we jump.
Yeah.
Those are the moments that make up the life that we live. That's what I'm so excited for every day.
Well, yo, I want to put this out there because I freaking love you, dude. And even just like being here with you now, I'm flashing all those other times we chatted on live and stuff. And I'm really excited for you to have this journey. Also, if you're up for it after your shit, I would love to talk with you deep shit on my podcast for at least an hour or two. Because I think because man, even just the other day, I had this real big breakdown after just kind of allowing kind of my authenticness to flow in this moment where I was like, like two of my good friends have died in the past couple of years. And I kind of have just been like, it's like I put it over here and I don't go there very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I went there a couple of days ago, just like for a few minutes. And it was like humbling, and it was like beckoning me to not be afraid to go there.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
And I would love to talk to you more.
Yes. Yeah. I lost my mom 11 years ago, and I avoided it for over like 10 years. Like I just wouldn't touch it.
Yeah.
And then at one point I started touching it and sitting in it and holding it and just allowing myself to hold it. And it feels like it's never going to end. It feels like it's so heavy, it's going to break you.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the gifts that Lee gave me was that we never break, we only break through. And so this time I honored myself with that. Anytime I've come up against anything, I have just held it. And I'm like protective of it, because I have people who come in and they're like, oh, I want to help you. And I'm like, I don't need anyone's help. You can support me and you can give witness and you can sit with me in this.
Yeah.
However, this is mine. And I'm like, this is mine because I don't want to have to do it again. And so it's been so beautiful to hold it myself and to see my strength, even in my weakest points, mm-hmm. and to break through so that I can authentically be here.
Yeah.
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 So yes, I am down. Yes, I would love to speak. I can see, like, it's amazing to reconnect. I haven't been on TikTok in forever. And I was just like, I don't know why. I feel like I need to hop on. That was perfect. Yeah. I love it. Did you ever watch Midnight Gospel?
Yeah.
That 6th episode, that was his favorite. And I have seen it probably once a month since he passed away. And it's so amazing. That is such a beautiful show. But that episode, it's like just learning about what love is and the undertones of the love.
Yeah.
And that never disappears. That's been such the gift that I've learned. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your tears with us.
Thank you for being here.
I see you. I do see you.
You too.
Lovely.
Yeah, dude. I always remember I was like in your live, and there was like this little kid in there with us, and we were just like chatting with her. You remember that?
Little kid.
There was like this like 10-year-old for some reason.
Well, I'm a teacher.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it might have been one of my students hopping on and being like, hi, Miss Karen. I'm like, guys, you're not supposed to use my last
Yeah,
name.
maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure. There's always children following me around, which is so funny because I'm not really a kid person.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I taught English in Thailand a few years back.
Oh, I think we had that connection. I remember that.
Yeah, and I like first few months of the pandemic, I started streaming on YouTube a lot, and I would have my like 11-year-old Thai kids always jumping in on my lives.
Yeah, dude, they love it.
I was like, I think it's like 1 a.m. where you are. You should go to bed.
Why are you not asleep? I remember stumbling across your video. It was one of your viral videos, and it was the lesson that I was learning at that time, like almost 3 years ago, right when Lee and I started our soul connection, our understandings with each other, and I just remember crying. I don't know if you know how much of a vessel and like vehicle of source you are, but that it like moved me. It moved me so much, and I was like, what is this? And now I understand that I only hear the lessons that I'm supposed to hear when I'm ready to hear them. But I wanted to thank you in gratitude for like how much it spoke to my own journey and how beautiful that really was. Like, it's so amazing that, these social media platforms can actually do that. But it's also the individual.
Like, Yeah, dude. It's like I'm so appreciative of that, of just like where I was. And I think initially sharing like that was it was just kind of out of like loneliness at the early on. But like whatever video it was probably the one like from that video, like my best friend now, my partner Lane and our
Yeah,
roommate, they
yeah.
found me from that same video and they are
It's the
now
one where you were
and I
dancing.
now fucking live with them, bro.
See, it's the one where you were dancing. You were like dance. You're like, I don't care what anybody says. I'm just gonna find that joy. And I was like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I remember. I'm getting goosebumps right now even thinking about it because it spoke to that place that like it's for me. I lost it somewhere. And I dance now. I dance like every single week, and the community that I've created around me with house music and dance, I feel like I'm like 18 again, and I'm old. Like I'm 41,
Yeah.
and I like live my life in this like just awakened state of just bliss, you know. And I accept all of that, what life is, and it's so. The balance of the. I was just talking about it this morning. When did the micro become the macro? That's like one of my favorite things.
Wow.
And I meditated on that this morning, actually, to see the micro and macro and the balance that they hold in our lives. Yeah, it's pretty beautiful.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, man. It was Princess Luna Sparkles. It's cute. I love that little name.
Yes. Yeah, dude. It's like I'm what comes to mind right now is that I I try to talk to my grandpa on the phone every week. And he's like my favorite person on the planet. He's like 83.
Yeah.
And he was like really and he's like the conversations I have with him are like what I do instead of therapy basically right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's like it's like it's like being tapped into like this alternate version of myself almost.
It's the reflective version, yeah, man.
And like
beautiful.
and it's like and it feels even sweeter because like I'm not friends with my dad,
Yeah.
like I don't connect with my dad at all really.
Yeah.
And Grandpa Bob was just telling me the other day, like 2 days ago, that he's like he said in December he did like 26 hours of meditation total.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And he was just like, and I had this moment with him where I was just like, he was saying, he's like, he's like, sometimes I just know that I need to set my 25-minute timer and then I'll do it a couple times a day. And he was like, and he's like, you're doing that, but you're not letting yourself find the peace of it. Like, because I'm not meditating, but I'm like seeking moments to be present, but I don't, it's not meditation. So I'm like, oh man, I never meditate. And he just like had this loving, like, I don't know, like reminder where it's like, he doesn't have as much shit to do in his life as me. So it's easy for me to be like, oh yeah, meditate your life away. But like meditate. And I was like, holy shit. And I had this realization. I'm like, life away. He's like meditating his life here.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like, and I was like, oh, I'm doing the away shit. Like,
I'm doing things to distract you from your
I'm having kind of the, in my reach at all times, all these different tools for me to feel not in me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that part of the balance is I was just watching something the other day that said, meditating and becoming spiritual is not an escape for our everyday life. It's how we like incorporate our everyday life into our spirituality, into our understanding of that which is beyond. And then every now and then it's like you become the bridge. You become this moment where you can understand, like, I have to do these things so that I can survive as this vessel that's here, this karmic thing that I signed up to do. I have to do that.
Yeah.
And I can also understand that there's so much more beyond. That I am in control of this entire simulation. That everything that I want to see through and understand my lessons, they're all being presented to me because I chose to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have this friend, and it's kind of crazy because I spend all this time doing this lesson. I have the conversation, and the next day she gets it. The next day she's done the lesson already. And we had this whole moment. She's definitely of dark, I'm of light, and a lot of my pain and stuff has come through a lot of darkness. And so she was like losing it the other night, just all of the darkness. I could feel it coming out. And I was like, hey, just looked at her. I was like, hey, do you remember? She was like, what? And I was like, she's like, I want to go home. I don't want to take myself away, but I want to go home. I'm tired. And I was like, I looked her directly in the eye. I was like, do you remember? Have you woken up? She looked at me and she was like, dude, we did this together, huh? And I was like, yeah. Like, it's the whole reason you and I have this connection that we have, where you feel like I'm always pulling you through, and I feel like you're reminding me of my shadow. I'm like, you and I came back here to do this together, and that's why I want to go home too, but I'm not willing to go home. I'm not willing to go back to source until I've done all of this so that I don't have to come back. And she was like, fuck. Like, it was so good to hear her. Like, she was like, yeah, you're right.
Uh-huh.
She's like, is that the reason why you're the person that, like, I could tell you anything that I do and there's no judgment? I'm like, Hayden, do you understand that the no judgment has come from this place where I have done all of the things that you have ever done in your life, and I judged myself for it, and all I ever wanted was someone to give witness and never judge me for it. And that's like just been this, God, so many lessons, Wes. I can't even tell you how many lessons have come through in this past year. It's been an amazing awakening since we stepped into this Aquarius, and like understanding this enlightenment, like seeing beyond.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. I can't even, like, I feel like I should write a book. I feel like I should write a book someday.
Dude, like, hell yeah. I mean, it's just like, just talk about, I mean, I guess I'm imagining like how like real the process of thinking through all of that. You know what I mean? It's just like almost like holding your own stories closely.
Yeah.
Like, that's, you know, it's almost like regardless of the fact that the process creates a product, the process is the value almost.
Yeah. It's the preparation. It's the growth of those muscles, you know? That's how I think of a lot of the lessons in life that before I find the truth, I find truth.
Yeah.
The process, the sorting out, it's almost like putting together a puzzle. I'm like, I can see the 4 pieces that fit together, but I have to keep looking back at the cover to remember what the image is, you know?
Right.
That's been the trip. Because now I'm like, as I'm finding each piece to place, I've awoken to the picture. I already know what it is. I know what it is. I know the underlying like weaving of that puzzle is. And
then it makes me think that like if there starts to be an incessant looking back at the box, like it can like start, you know what I'm saying, where it's like then that inner knowing where there's no question.
Exactly. You don't have to look back. It lives inside of you. it becomes a part of your mind's eye.
And
So
like,
I'm not necessarily distracting myself to have to keep looking over there. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what this is gonna be. Yeah, it's
right.
already like when you can have the image, it's almost like imprinted in your soul.
Yeah.
That truth, you no longer. That's why, like, yeah, this understanding of truth has been so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot for a minute. I definitely forgot in the wake of all that grief.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that I was able to find myself again.
Mm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for all the time that I got to have with him.
Yeah.
I really wanted you guys to meet. I remember like trying to like be like, you guys are like the same. Like I tripped out on that. and your doppelganger, that's the one amazing like techno crazy DJ down here in Sacramento. You guys still look exactly the same. Austin, yeah, that's a trip. I've like told him about you too. I'm like, there's this guy and he's on TikTok and you guys look the same. He's like, what are you talking about, Morgan? I'm like, you don't understand. One day you'll understand.
One day.
One day.
For sure.
Yeah, man. You guys got to come down to Sac. Check out the house scene. It's good
We
stuff.
will. We will.
Totally should. Always have a place to stay. Doors always open.
Cool.
Yeah, man. Yes. Well, I think you probably. Well, I don't know if you still have my number. I think I can look through my phone and find your number again.
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah.
Set that up. Have a check-in.
For sure.
Podcast time. Yeah, I go the 20th through the 22nd, and it's in Oakland, which is great. It's just like she does like really small.
Exciting. She's
like an herbalist and a shaman, so she mixes herbs with ayahuasca, and she really like measures where you're at and how much to give you.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a really beautiful thing. It's like on her property, so I don't have to go to Peru, or it's not one of those 7-day things, which was kind of a trip for me.
Yeah.
And I think this one actually is all women. She does like non-binary and all women, and then she'll do like larger. She calls them spaceships, which is kind of cool.
Cool.
Yeah. I can hear my kids.
Yes.
It's beautiful to share space with you, my friend.
You too. Thanks for hopping on with me.
Yeah, anytime. I hope you have a blessed day. Enjoy your breath work.
I will. Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. Oh. Thank you, Morgan. Everybody, that was Morgan. I don't remember anything else about you in terms of your name. Morgan is epic. Wow. I'm so sorry for your loss. Death, man. It really is on my mind a lot these days. I was mentioning talking to my grandpa a lot. And I fear that he will die all the time. And there's like a fear that I will not have done everything I wanted to do with him, right? With my friend Kelly, with my friend Hannah. I wanted to do more, right? With Morgan's partner. We just want more, you know? And I really see this as a reminder, you know, like tomorrow is not a given, you know, and there's like this fear of I think culturally we have a fear of being morbid. My grandpa tells me all the time about how his friends, his fellow elderly friends, do not want to bring up the subject of death. And he's like, everyone around us is dying. Half the people we know are dead. Why are you still so adamant about pretending it's not going to happen to you? Or that it's not going to happen to your best or to me? Like, and I think, yeah, I do think it's a very different thing to, where it's like we understand, like, oh, someone, a loved one died. I'm so sorry, you know, for your loss, right? But it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. Death, like, I don't know. It's just like, it's not something that's not life, almost. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, there's this idea like push off thinking about death, experiencing death for as long as you can, until you basically can't ignore it anymore. And by not doing something until you have no choice but to address it, it's like exactly what I talk about these days about like not wanting to discuss things until they're a problem. Right? It's like this idea, one sec. It's like this idea that it's this idea that like, well, I'm fine. Everything I'm okay until, like until all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, my back hurts. Now, once there is a pain for me to address, oh my God, I left my window cracked all night, dude, and it's been raining. Fuck me. Ugh. This is real life, you guys. I look out my front window and I see my car window cracked. Motherfucker. Oh well. I'm sure it's fine. I just can't believe I did that. Like, what the heck? I really just got sidetracked. Motherfucker. All right. Yeah. Basically, like not wanting to think about a problem or not wanting to think about a topic until it's a problem. Like, I don't want to think about death until my grandpa dies. And I think it really is like what a good example of a grander, you know, way of living, which is pretend everything's okay. Or I don't know. It's like it's hard. It's like pretend you're not going to die until you die. And then we freak out, we cry, we feel uncomfortable, and then we like move on and like don't ever really truly fully deeply process our grief. And I think it's like preparing for this shit is important, you know? Um, so yeah, cool. Good shit. All right. That was a good one. Oh my God. Well, if you guys don't know, be looking forward to Morgan and I having a podcast combo in the coming weeks. Don't forget to check out Stream of Conscious West over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast app you use. Be looking out for this stream. I'll be posting it probably because it was really dope. And be looking out for more content overall from your boy. Thank you for a glorious morning, Princess Luna Sparkles. Thanks for listening, Charlie Foxes. Thank you. The end is here. Thanks for tuning in. You guys have made this so fun. Aaliyah Ann, thank you for the roses. Thank you for joining. You guys are awesome. Just followed you on Spotify. Can't wait for your video with her. Thank you. Yeah, check it out on Spotify. Like I said, we have the video episodes on Spotify. You can check those out. Check me on YouTube at Conscious West as well. I put out most of the episodes, as well as this live stream that we just vibed with together. This is going to be up on my YouTube channel under the live stream tab. I love you guys. I'm glad we found you. Princess Luna Sparkles, real talk. I was going to say this at the very beginning, Princess. Let's talk to Twitch streamer. I want to hear about your journey as a streamer. I want to talk about your journey on TikTok. If you'd ever be up for it. Yeah. I'm all about having conversations, talking about real stuff, collaborating. You're awesome. I'll check you later. Awesome. We'll be in touch. Oh. And let's see. Do I have an exit song today? Welcome to Stream of Conscious West. Ooh. All right. That's more of a welcome song. I don't really have an outro, but. And coffee is gone. Perfect coffee stream. Thank you for joining. Check you next time. Much love. Peace.